So as you lay on your belly, go ahead and extend your legs and stack your palms underneath your forehead. Untuck your toes. And rest in this position that we call a pranam, a full body bow. And just imagine that your whole body were sinking down in sand. Notice the heaviness of your body. And notice that in order to breathe, you'll have to press your body down into the earth and expand through your back body. So breathe through the back of your ribs and lungs. And soften the back of your neck. Notice any points of tension or clenching in the body. And continue to slow your breath down. We'll be here for a few more moments. Continue to relax and sink down. In this class this morning, we'll focus on the upper body and the shoulders. And so keep your whole body relaxed. Allow your heels to splay open and wide. Relax through your glutes. And simply begin to pick up your head and gaze forward. So make sure that you have enough space to your left. So just gaze in that direction. And extend your left arm out to the left. Reach as far as you can with the palm facing down. And then bend your elbow to a 90-degree angle. And just make sure that your elbow is coming out from the shoulder joint. And now begin to gaze to the right. Slide your right palm underneath your shoulder and place the side of your head down. Press into your right palm and then slowly roll on towards your left side body. Any amount. And as we begin to open up the front of our left shoulder, press into your palm and breathe in this extended wing position. And so we cactus the arm just to make sure that we don't go beyond the point that our body wants us to actually expand and open. So you might notice that you're not able to go as far as if your arm was completely straight, and that's okay. And take a few slow breaths here. Your legs can be stacked, knees side to side, whatever is comfortable here. And then slowly roll onto your belly. And then we'll do that same thing on the other side. So this time your left palm under the shoulder. Gaze to the right and extend your right arm out to the right. And then cactus the arm. Gaze towards the left now. Place the side of your head down and begin to roll on towards your right side body. And perhaps your knees are stacked. And usually you know that you've gone far enough when your body starts to almost reject how far you're going. It'll resist. And take a few slow breaths here on the side. Take your time, roll onto your belly. Come back into that pranam shape, stacking your palms underneath your forehead and bowing your head, and relax here for maybe 2 to 3 rounds of breath. And recalibrating and noticing how your shoulders feel now with a little bit of opening. And so begin to pick up your forehead and gaze forward. And we're gonna do the exact opposite of what we just did. So we just opened up through the shoulders. So now we're gonna do a shoulder cross. And so it doesn't matter which arm is in front, just take one hand and then reach it towards the opposite top corner. Take your other hand and then sweep it so that now your arms are making an X in front of you. Press your palms down and spread through your fingers. Okay. And then now just gently place your chin against the cross of your arms. Breathe through the back of your heart and broaden through your shoulder blades. And slowly pick up your chin. Okay, so you're gonna take your top arm and sweep it out and then slide it underneath. So we're just gonna do that same thing on the other side. So the opposite arm should be on top. And then just gently rest your chin down. And so allow the weight of your chin and chest to open up through the back of your heart. And slowly lift your chin. Slide your palms underneath your shoulders and then press up to a sitting position. Take your time. Swing your heels out in front of you. And so we're going to come into a seated cross for a moment. It's a little bit of an alternative to child's pose. So your feet are going to be about hips width distance apart. The distance of your heels and you will differ based on your own body. I'll do this from the side. You're going to take your hands and you're going to tuck them behind your calf muscles and then essentially cross them on opposite shins. If you can't reach it, you might have to just walk your heels in a little bit to grab a hold, okay? So just watch what I do with my upper body. Once I have a hold of my shins, gaze forward, and now begin to roll your spine. So tuck your chin towards your chest, navel gathers in, and then see if you can bring the crown of your head in between your knees or approaching that direction. Continue to breathe through the back of your heart, and now open up the space behind the back of your neck. The weight of your head is relaxing the back of your neck. Relax the expression on your face. We'll be here in this seated cross for just another moment or two. And slowly, as we come out of this shape, you're going to slide your hands on either side of you first. Keep bowing your head. And then now roll your spine all the way up. Come into a cross-legged position. Slide your hands on top of your knees. If you feel like your knees are far away from you, you have to sit up a little bit. And then from here, as you inhale, press your palms into the tops of your knees, pull your heart forward and gaze up. And then exhale, begin to round your spine. Shoulders roll forward, bow your head. And just do a couple of rounds of a seated cow and cat motion of the spine. Wonderful. On your next inhale, just begin to sit up tall. And I'll mirror these actions, okay? Take your right fingertips by your right side and then sweep your left arm up and overhead. So stay tented on your right finger pads here so you can press down into them and then lift your left arm up. Rotate your torso and gaze underneath your upper arm. And use the traction of your finger pads pressing down to lift up, but ground your sitting bones. Now you can stay here or slowly place your whole palm down, your whole right palm down. So you're gonna get a little bit lower, but keep that length. And perhaps you can start to pulse through the right elbow. So maybe bend your right elbow an inch or two, and then straighten through the arm. You'll start to open up through the outside of your left hip. Keep the sides of your neck relaxed. Just a mini pulsation. Now press into your palm and come up, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Make sure you have enough space to your left. Good. Start with your finger pads down to achieve length, and then sweep your right arm up and overhead. So stay tented on your finger pads here first, so that you can achieve this maximum length along the right side body. Gaze up. Good. And now maybe place your whole left palm down. You move through a few rounds of that pulsation, bending through the left elbow and then straightening through the left arm. It's a little side body pulsation. Good. And come up. Place your palms in front of your shins. Roll over your shins and come to a hands and knees position or tabletop. Make sure that you have enough padding underneath your knees if you're on a hardwood surface. If you're on a carpeted surface, you might be okay. Spread your fingers wide. Press the heels of your hands down and tuck all 10 of your toes. As you inhale, lift your sitting bones up, soften your belly and pull your heart forward. Gaze forward for cow. And then exhale, press into your hands, knees, and toes. Round your spine and gaze behind you for cat. And do this a few times, allowing your spine to arch on the inhale. And then exhale, round through your spine. 2 more like that. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. Come into a neutral tabletop. If you're in the same room as me, turn so that you're in tabletop, but facing the mirror side of the room. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And then extend your left leg out to the left. Yep, there you go. So now you know why we're doing this, just so that you have enough space to your left and right. Walk your hands towards you and come up to a gate position. Good. So I'm going to turn to face this way so people behind the screen can see me. Slide your left palm down your left leg and then sweep your right arm up and overhead. Make sure that your right knee is padded if you need to, coming into a gate position. And then do that same thing. Press into your left palm and then stretch your right fingertips up and overhead. Breathe here. This full side body stretch on the right. Good. 1 more inhale. And then as you exhale, come up and then place your palms down. Walk your hands forward about a handprint or 2. Keep your legs in gate and your right toes tucked. And then press your seat back towards your right heel. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, press back. Almost like you were coming into a child's pose, but your legs are in gate. So do this 2 more times, this horizontal shift of the body. And now let's just hold this gate seat to heel. So just keep pressing back, but gaze forward between your thumbs. Breathe through your left groin. And then slowly shift forward. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Press down into your left palm. Inhale, sweep your right arm up. Right arm up and gaze up. Circle out your right wrist. And switch. Inhale here. Then exhale, thread your right arm underneath your chest. Come onto the outside of your shoulder. Gaze towards the left. You should be gazing in the same direction as where your left foot is. Perhaps slide your left hand forward. Coming into a thread the needle gait. Wonderful. One more full round of breath. And slide your left palm under your shoulder. Press into your palm and unthread your arm up. Exhale, set the palm down and tuck your knee underneath you. Just sway your hips from side to side. Good. Come back into a tabletop position, and this time extend your right leg out to the right. We're just doing that whole thing on the other side. Make sure that your whole right foot is planted, toes pointing in the same direction as your gaze, and then slowly roll up. Keep your left toes tucked. Slide your right hand down your right leg, and then sweep your left arm up and overhead. And then gaze underneath your upper arm, lean back. Good. One more inhale. And then exhale, come up and place your palms down underneath your shoulders. So let's set us up here. Walk your hands forward about a handprint or two. Press into your fingers and then shift your hips back towards your left heel. And then glide forward. You do this a couple of times. Starting to wake up through the right groin. And then the next time you press your seat back towards your heel, pause and breathe. And slowly glide forward, slide your palms underneath your shoulders. Press into your right palm. Inhale, sweep your left arm up. Gaze up and circle out your wrist. And switch. Inhale. And then exhale, thread the left arm underneath your chest. Come onto the outside of your shoulder. Gaze towards the right. Right palm can slide forward. And pause and breathe here. And slide your right palm under the shoulder. Press into your palm and unthread the arm up. And exhale, set the palm down, tuck your knee underneath you, and sway your hips from side to side. Good. If you're in the same room as me, you can adjust your tabletop to face the front of the room once again. From tabletop, walk your hands forward about a handprint. Toes stay tucked, and then lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And in downward facing dog, as you straighten your arms, press down into the heels of your hands. Rotate your arms so that your elbow creases face forward. Keep your knees slightly bent here, and then bring your belly to your upper thighs. Spread your sitting bones wide, and then begin to lower your heels towards the earth. Breathe into the back of your legs. You're doing great. On your next inhale, gaze forward. And then exhale, slowly make your way to the top of your space for a forward fold. Keep your feet about hips width distance apart. That's 2 fists next to one another. Knees bent so that your belly can rest on your upper thighs. And then hinge forward. Clasp opposite hand to elbow point. And breathe here in a standing forward fold at the top of your mat. Release your elbows. Now press into your feet. Navel gathers in towards your spine, and then slowly take 2 to 3 rounds of breath to roll all the way up. And once your spine is vertical, sweep your arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, place your hands on top of your heart with your right hand on top of your left. Okay, so I'm gonna mirror you here. And stand tall. And as you inhale, sweep your right arm out to the right, gaze towards your right thumb. And then exhale, bring your hand back, but then switch. Sweep your left arm out, gaze towards your left thumb. And then exhale, bring it back. And now sweep both arms out, gaze forward. And then now sweep your arms up and overhead. And then exhale, bend your knees and fold forward. Inhale, halfway left, slide your hands onto your shins or thighs, torso parallel to the earth. Exhale, fold, plant your palms and step back to a downward facing dog. Okay, so our sun salutation, we're gonna move through a water wheel. On your next inhale, wave your body forward to a plank position, top of a push-up, shoulders over wrists, navel gathers in. Now press your heels back and the crown of your head forward, long spine. One more full inhale here. And as you exhale, listen carefully, you're gonna bend your knees and let your knees skim the earth as you lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So that'll be the pattern, and do that 2 more times. Inhale, ripple forward to a plank. And then exhale, make your way to downward facing dog, but through bent knees, like there was a string tied to your tailbone, lifting you back up. One more like that. So your body is mimicking a water wheel. Pause here in a downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Then exhale, make your way forward. And that'll be the pattern. And we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Ground down into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Sweep your arms up and overhead. Then exhale, place your hands on top of your heart, right hand on top. Inhale, right arm out. Exhale, gather it in. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, back. And now this time, as you sweep your arms out, and then bring them up and overhead on the inhale. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your palms and step back to a downward facing dog. And 3 rounds on your own, moving through that water wheel. Inhale is the ripple forward. And the exhale is the downward facing dog. Do that 2 more times. And you should feel this big stretch along the backs of your legs, from your Achilles all the way to your glutes. One more. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. And exhale, make your way forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. And exhale, hands on top of your heart. Inhale, right arm out. Exhale, back in. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, back. And now big movement. Inhale, sweep your arms forward. And now up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Last round. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms and step back to a downward facing dog. 3 rounds. You know the pattern. Moving through that water wheel. Just make sure, 2 more, that the inhale is the ripple forward. The exhale is the downward facing dog. There's no rush. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. And let's pause here for about 3 rounds of breath. You can pedal out your feet if you like. Wonderful. On your next inhale, gaze forward. As you exhale, make your way to the top of your space. Okay, so once you're at the top of your mat, we're gonna do a flow that requires our back knee to come down. So you might wanna make sure that you've got padding under your knee. Step your left foot back, and then lower your left knee down onto a blanket or your mat. Okay, come up onto your finger pads and your left toes will stay tucked. As you inhale, sweep your right arm up, coming into this variation of a revolved crescent moon shape. And now listen carefully. As you exhale, you're gonna, like an elephant trunk, take your right arm to the side and then sweep it underneath your right thigh and see if you can touch the outside of your left rib cage. Inhale, unthread the arm, gaze up, and then exhale, sweep it down and under. One more, inhale and exhale. Inhale, raise your right arm up, and then exhale, set the palm down. Tuck your right knee underneath you, just slide it underneath you. And now pull your hips back so that your thigh bones are perpendicular to the earth, and your toes are tucked. Walk your hands forward to the top edge of your mat. Spread your fingers wide. Then exhale, lift your sitting bones and drop your chin and chest towards the earth. Gaze forward for Anahatasan, puppy pose. One more full inhale here. And stay for the exhale. On your next inhale, begin to shift forward. Lower down onto your forearms. Your forearms will make the number 11, shoulders over elbows. Step one foot back at a time for a forearm plank. Press your heels back, crown of the head forward. One, inhale. And then exhale, simply lower your pelvis down and untuck your toes. Exhale. Notice that you can pull your heart forward. You're in a Sphinx shape. Shoulders over elbows, heart forward. Inhale here. And then exhale, lower onto your belly. Slide your palms underneath you and press up through a tabletop position. And then you'll just have to shimmy yourself towards the front of your mat or towards the middle of your mat. And we'll do that sequence on the other side. Step your left foot forward in between your palms. Tuck your right toes. Stay on your finger pads here. Make sure that your right knee is padded if you need to. Inhale, sweep your left arm up. And then exhale, slide it underneath your left thigh. And do that 2 more times. This elephant trunk of the left arm. One more. Inhale, sweep your left arm up. Exhale, set the palm down, gaze forward, and then tuck your left knee underneath you. Walk your hands forward. Press into your palms, inhale. And then exhale, deliver your heart and chin towards the earth, Anahatasan. Inhale, glide forward. We'll move into a forearm plank. Forearms down and slide your legs back. One inhale here. And then exhale, lower your hips and pelvis down, untuck your toes. Inhale, pull your heart forward to the pillars of your arms. And then exhale, swivel your elbows wide and come into a pranam. Stack your palms under your forehead and just rest here for a moment. Okay, so we're gonna do a variation of that exact sequence with our back knee lifted. And we'll add on. Tuck your toes. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders and press up through a hands and knees position. And again, you might have to shimmy yourself forward a little bit. Step your right foot forward in between your hands, but this time pick up your back knee if you can. Okay, now with your back knee lifted, make sure it's straight and strong. So if you feel like it's sickling back, just go ahead and lower the back knee, okay? Hug muscle to bone and press your left heel back, crown of the head forward. And we'll do that same sequence. Inhale, sweep your right arm up. And then exhale, sweep it and tuck it underneath your right thigh. 2 more. Use the leverage of pressing down into your left finger pads to create stability for this shape. 1 more. And exhale. Inhale, sweep your right arm up. Pause. Then exhale, set your finger pads down. Swivel your left heel back so it's parallel to the back edge of your mat. And then open up to a warrior 2 position on your next inhale. Okay, so let's set up a warrior two. Bend into your right knee. Make sure it's bending in the same direction as your right toes are going. Left leg stays straight. And then from here, as you inhale, straighten your right leg and tip back for reverse triangle. Both legs straight, tip up. And then exhale, come back into a warrior two position. Rebend your right knee, gaze forward. Two more like this. Inhale, tip back, straighten through the right leg. Then exhale, warrior two. One more, inhale. And this time as you exhale, come through a warrior two, but cartwheel your hands down. Frame your right foot, swivel your left heel up. Gaze forward, and then step forward. Take as many hops as you need to bring your left foot forward to your right and shake out your legs. Just tap the backs of your knees. Okay, let's do that same thing on the other side. Step your right foot back. And if possible, keep your back leg straight and strong. Hug muscle to bone. Gaze forward. Inhale, sweep your left arm up. And then exhale, tuck it underneath your left thigh. Two more like that. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale, gaze up. Then exhale, set your finger pads down. Swivel your right heel down. And then when you're ready, open up into a warrior two on the left. Spread your fingers wide, bend into your left knee. So it's going in the same direction as your toes. Right leg stays straight. We'll do 3 rounds. Inhale, tip back for reverse triangle. So both legs are straight. Sweep your left arm up. And then exhale, return to a warrior two shape. 2 more like that. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. And this time, as you come to a warrior two position, pause, straighten both of your legs, and turn your toes to face the side of your mat space. I'll turn so that you can see me. Okay, so we're gonna stay upright. Swivel your heels and your toes, heels in and your toes out. Sweep your arms up and overhead for a star shape. And keep your legs straight. Stretch your fingertips towards the top 2 corners of the room. And now take your right hand and then reach for your left wrist. Lift up and tip over to the right. Just taking a side bend and star. Inhale, come up. And then switch. Left hand, right wrist crease. Lift up first and then tip over to the left. Inhale, come up. And then from here, look at your left foot. And you're gonna start to cartwheel your hands down. So swivel both of your feet. And you're gonna return to a low lunge position on the left. So right heel up, bring both of your finger pads down, and then step forward and shake out your legs. And if you're craving that wide-legged forward fold, don't worry, that will come in a moment. Okay, and so from here, step your left foot back, coming into a low lunge position. Okay, we're gonna do 1 round. Inhale, raise your right arm up. And then exhale, tuck it underneath your right thigh. So inhale, raise your right arm up. Exhale, set the finger pads down. Now don't adjust the back foot, gaze forward. When you're ready, sweep your arms up and overhead for a crescent lunge. The back heel is lifted and the back leg is straight and strong. And then exhale, place your hands on top of your heart, the right hand on top of your left. And as you inhale, sweep your right arm out, gaze at your right thumb if possible, a little balance challenge. And then exhale, place your hand back on top of your heart. And do 2 more like that. Inhale, go slow. 1 more. Okay. So now listen carefully as you sweep your right arm out this time, pause. Maybe stretch your left arm forward. You're in a vertical twist. You can stay here or maybe place your palms together in front of your heart. Hook your thumbs to your sternum. Start to lean forward. Lots of options here. And maybe stay. You can hook the elbow. I prefer to just stay a little bit more upright. Keep your back leg straight and strong to support you. Unwind and place your finger pads down. Swivel your back heel down and then open up into a warrior two on the right. Inhale, tip back, reverse triangle. So straighten the right leg, sweep your right arm up. And now this time, keep both legs straight as you come up. If you feel like your legs are super spread out, you can always heel toe your left foot in slightly to shorten up your stance. Reach your right arm forward. Place your right palm on the top of your right shin. Sweep your left arm up for Trikonasana triangle. See if you can stack your left hip on top of your right and then gaze up towards your left thumb. Okay. And then slowly come up. Adjust your feet, so turn your toes to face the side of your mat space. Hands on your hip creases. And then now hinge from your hips and forward fold, a wide-legged forward fold. Place your finger pads down. Just pause and breathe here. Wonderful. We have one more side to do. And slowly walk your hands towards your right foot. Adjust your feet and step forward. Come back to the top of your mat space. Shake out your legs. We'll do that whole thing on the left. Step your right foot back behind you for a low lunge. And then one round, sweep your left arm up. Exhale, sweep it underneath. Inhale, raise your left arm up. Exhale, set the finger pads down, gaze forward. Now press into your feet and then come up for a high crescent lunge when you're ready. Keep your back leg straight and strong. And then exhale, left hand on top of your heart this time. Inhale, sweep your left arm out. See if you can gaze towards your left thumb. Exhale, sweep it back. Two more like that. Inhale. And exhale. One more. This time as you sweep your left arm out, pause, stretch your right arm out for a vertical twist. Now you can always just stay here and keep twisting, or you can place your palms together in front of your heart, hook your thumbs towards your sternum, and lean forward. Use the strength and stability of your legs to support the shape. Keep the back leg as straight as you can. And place your finger pads down. Swivel your right heel down and open up into a warrior two on the left. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten through your left leg. And then exhale, come up. Perhaps heel toe your right foot in slightly. And then stretch your left fingers forward. And come into Trikonasana triangle pose. Left palm on the top of your shin. Reach up with your right fingernails and lean back. Wonderful. Inhale, come up when you're ready. Hands on your hips and turn your toes to face the side of your mat space. And then hinge from your hips. Last wide-legged forward fold. And if you want a little bit of movement here, you can bend one knee and then the other, swaying your hips from side to side. Good. And then straighten both of your legs. Heel toe your feet towards one another. And then go ahead and come to a seat on your mat. So if you have a blanket of some kind, it could also be like a pillow if you're at home. It doesn't have to be a yoga blanket. We're going to come into a mid-thoracic spine opening. So basically, you're going to take whatever you have and you want it to be rolled in such a way that you can place it perpendicular to the mat. So again, it could be a throw blanket. Just make sure that it's actually not too high. because this can be quite intense. We're not going to hold it for too long. And so your roll blanket is perpendicular to your mat, and you want the blanket to come right below your rib cage, around here. So take your time, you're going to lay down. So it's going to feel a little bit like a supported fish, but slightly different. And when you place your back down onto that prop, you're going to feel your rib cage cracked open to the ceiling, and that's what we want. Keep your legs bent, or you can straighten them. It's kind of up to you. Just allow your rib cage to gain a little bit of space away from your lungs and diaphragm. Stretch out from your belly. We'll just be here for a few moments. Elongating our spine. This is a shape some of you who practice yin with me are familiar with, this mid-thoracic opening. We'll be here for about 3 or so rounds of breath. Okay. So take your time. Just slowly begin to prop yourself up onto your elbows, just so that you can slide your blanket off to the side. And then come back onto your back. Extend your legs so that your toes are pointing to the bottom 2 corners of your mat. So your legs are splayed open. Reach your arms up to the top 2 corners of your mat space. So you're in this supine star shape of the body. Notice how your body feels. Just check in for a moment. We're going to continue to create length and space, especially along the side body. Okay. And so keep your left side body where it is. And slowly bring your right ankle towards your left. Just slide it along your mat, right ankle towards your left, so your ankles can be side by side. Now slide your right wrist towards your left and create this banana shape of the body. Your body is going to resemble like a crescent moon. Breathe into your right side body. And if you know already that you want to go further, go ahead and cross your right ankle over your left, perhaps placing your right wrist on top of your left. Take your time, just unwind. Come back into a supine star shape. Now keep your right side body where it is. Left ankle towards your right. Start with it side by side. And then left wrist towards your right. Come into this banana shape of the body on the left. Breathe into the left side body. And now that you're situated, you can maybe go deeper, crossing your left ankle over your right, left hand in your right. And slowly come back. Return to a supine star shape of the body. And we're going to move through a few pulsations. As you inhale, stretch from your finger and toenails like a big morning stretch. Allow your ribcage to flare open and lift your upper back. And then exhale, soften your whole body down. And do 2 more like that. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale, relax. Bend your knees. Walk your feet in. You can bring your arms by your sides. Sway your knees side to side so that you can massage your upper glutes and your lower back. All right, so make sure that your whole back is pressing down. You might even want to lift your tailbone up an inch and pull it away from you. Place your hands at your low belly. Use the strength of your low belly to pull your thighs perpendicular. Flex your toes and come into a supine tabletop. Take your hands now and place them on the top of your thighs. And push against your thighs and allow your thighs to push against your palms. Gather your navel in. Maintain this supine shape, supine tabletop shape of the legs. Extend your arms to either side of your mat space with the palms facing down. Inhale here. And then exhale, slowly lower your knees 3 inches to the left. Inhale, raise your legs up. And then exhale 3 inches to the right. Just rock side to side, stabilizing our core, our sacrum. Going to the left and the right. Try not to use momentum. And the next time your knees move towards the left, see if you can keep going until your knees touch the earth. And you're in a supine twist. Just pause and breathe here. If you want something a little bit deeper of a supine twist, you can cross your right leg over your left. And this will pin your left knee down. Roll your right shoulder back and gaze upward towards the right. Okay. Uncross your knees and legs if they're crossed. And then using the strength of your core, lift your knees back up into a supine tabletop. And then bring your knees to the right. And then just twist to the other side. You can cross your left leg over if you like. Roll onto your back and you can set your feet down. Adjust your hips. Pull your thighs in towards you and wrap your hands around your shins. Take a gentle rock side to side. And if possible, see if you can reach for the outsides of your feet or ankles for happy baby. Flex your feet. Bring your knees to either side of your body. Good. And slowly release the outsides of your feet and press your feet directly up above your hips for a legs up the wall position. Point and flex your feet. You can draw circles with your toes in space, circling out through the ankles. And switch. And then pause here with your legs elevated, ankles above hips. And we're going to come into our final shape of Shavasana in a very deliberate way. And it's going to seem like I'm trying to sneak in a little bit of core work, but truly it's to stabilize the sacrum. So zip up from your pubic bone to your belly button and navel gathers in. And slowly begin to press your right heel towards the earth. And then raise your right leg up. Left heel presses down. And then lift it back up. And now both heels down about halfway. Bend your knees. Scoop in. And then press your feet up, legs up the wall. Wonderful. Now this time as you press your right heel down, allow your right heel to slowly hit the ground. Now slowly bring your left heel towards the ground. And now you're in Shavasana. And now relax your belly. Allow your feet to splay open and wide. And stretch your arms out so that your shoulders soften away from your earlobes. Relax all the muscles in your face, especially your jaw. And remain calm. I'll call you back momentarily. So you can keep your body relaxed and your eyes closed. Notice the surging flow of breath that pours into your chest and belly. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch your arms up and overhead. And gather your knees in towards your chest and roll to one side. And pause here in a fetal position. And press your palms into the earth and come up to sitting. And once you're seated, swivel your hands on top of your heart. And as we bow our head towards our heart, we honor one another. And when you're ready, lift your gaze